Today's the beginning of a new series. We're gonna do a push-pull legs, full like week split series. So for the next few weeks, I'm gonna be posting just a whole workout, push, pull, legs, and then you'll do it twice in a week if it's for a 6-day split. First day is push. So this is the first episode, I guess, of the mini series. So let me know if you guys enjoy this series and if you guys would want to see another breakdown of a different kind of split and have this similar kind of series. To start the workout, we're gonna do bench press. For bench press, you want to do a quick like 5-minute workout. Use some bands, use some PVC pipe, kind of roll them around, loosen up your shoulders. And then after that, I like to do some external rotations. I connect the band to the bench. I just like to do these just because my shoulders, I like to make sure they're nice and warm and ready to go before I try to bench, because bench is one of those ones where it's pretty easy to tweak your shoulder, and I have a tweaked shoulder, so I like to make sure that my shoulders are both, they feel good, I feel loose, I feel warm, my joints are all ready to go. You don't need to spend more than 10-15 minutes warming up, especially if you're just lifting. All right, now once you're ready to bench, for this workout specifically, you're gonna work up to a heavy single, about 90 to 95% of your 1 rep max. We're not looking to PR here, just get some heavy weight in the bar and then get some strength gains for the future. Now with this being said, you don't want to do a heavy single every time you bench press. So like if you're gonna run this workout, you can do it the first time, but then switch it up. You can do this, so it's called a top set, working up to a heavy single, and then you do a top set, 1 set of 1 rep, 90 to 95% of your 1 rep max. But yeah, you can try heavy doubles, heavy singles, all kinds of different top sets, or you can just do straight working sets and then not even do a top set. But I just wanted to do top sets because I think it's nice to switch up. After you do your 1 top set of 90 to 95% of your 1 rep max on bench, then you're gonna back off and do 3 working sets of about 6 reps of pause bench. Now you're gonna do this at about 70%, 75% of your 1 rep max. And for every rep, you wanna aim to hit RPE of like 7 to 9. So RPE, what do I mean when I say RPE? RPE means rating of perceived exertion. It's on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being you couldn't have done 1 more rep, 1 being you can do 9 more reps. So if 10 is failure, can't do 1 more rep, 7 would be you can do 3 more reps, 8 would be 2 more reps, 9 would be 1 more rep, and then 10, you could not do another rep. So I'm gonna reference that in every single one of these other exercises, so just keep that in mind. So an RPE of 7 to 9, you don't wanna go to failure, but you want it to be pretty heavy. You shouldn't be literally about to shit your pants. It should be difficult. It should be like pretty difficult, but not too difficult. Now, as for a pause bench, the pause doesn't need to be too extra. Like it doesn't need to be a 10-15 second pause, but you want the momentum of the bar to completely stop on your chest and then give it another like half second and then drive it up. This technique forces you to really control the weight and really dials in your form. And it's really good if you struggle with coming out of the hole on bench. Next up, we have incline dumbbell bench press. We're gonna do 2 sets here of about 8 to 10 reps. Same thing, RPE 8 to 9 for every set. As for the incline angle, I go at about 30 degrees, not like 45 like this, just a little bit less. You can do 45, which is fine, it's totally fine. But the higher the angle becomes, the more it's gonna transition onto your shoulder. The more it's going to transition to your shoulders, and that's not what we're doing it for. We want to do this for our chest. We're doing incline because we want to work our upper chest. Filling out your upper chest is really good for having a full chest. People that you see that have huge pecs, it's mostly because they do a lot of incline stuff, and it's because their chest is fuller all around rather than kind of having those like saggy boobs, if you know what I mean. Grab a lighter weight and then just kind of get used to the motion. And for everything after bench press, it's going to be real slow eccentrics, 2 to 3 second eccentrics. Eccentrics, all that means is just the lowering of the weight or the negative portion of the exercise. And doing this, ensures that you're using the proper muscles. When you go really slow like that on the eccentric, it makes sure that you're feeling it in your chest and your front delts aren't trying to take over and do the majority of the work. The eccentric is actually more important for muscle growth and hypertrophy than the concentric is, the actual doing the movement. So for incline dumbbell bench, for example, the coming down is more important for building muscle than it actually is to do the rep. For beginners, pick a weight that you're comfortable with for doing for like 10 reps, and then do that once before, that's like your warm-up set before you get into your 2 working sets. And then for your 2 working sets, increase the weight by about like 10 to 15 pounds. Use your own judgment. Obviously, don't increase it too much so you can't even do 1 or 2 reps, but it's okay to kind of pyramid it, if that makes sense. So like increase your weight as the sets go on. So that your last set hopefully is your hardest set. That way, when you do it the first time, the next time you go into it, you'll know what weight to pick the first time for your next lift, what weight you want to choose to hit that 8 to 9 RPE rep range. Next up on the list, we got dumbbell lateral raises. We're gonna do 3 sets here of 8 to 10 reps. It's difficult to go heavy on these, so your form is really important. Begin with the dumbbells at your sides and then raise them up so that your elbow and your wrist are all in a line or above your shoulder joint. You want your elbow to be right up here with your shoulder joint in a line all the way across. The shoulder has a longer and larger range of motion than a lot of other muscles, which is determined by the elbow joint, not the wrist joint. So a lot of times I'll see people in the gym, they do their lateral raises, they get the dumbbell up to their shoulder, but their elbow is lagging. Because you can do curls all day, you can do this all day. This is not working your shoulder, it's where your elbow is. So a lot of people, and especially me, it helps to think of the cue of lifting the dumbbells through your elbows and not through your wrists. And if your elbows are lagging when you're doing these below your wrists, then that means you're doing them wrong. Next up, chest flies. I like doing cable flies. There's no need to go excessively heavy on these. You want to go heavy enough because we're going to go to failure on these two. And we have 2 sets of 10 to 12 reps. You want to take both of those 2 sets all the way to failure, and you want to raise the cables to have them, when you're standing up, you want them to be about shoulder height. Same thing on this, you want to aim to have a real slow and controlled eccentric, about 2 to 3 seconds, and really focus on just opening up your chest and then really flexing both your pecs at the bottom of the movement. Next, we have cable lateral raises. Now these, we're going to do 3 Myo-sets of 12 to 15 reps. Now, Myo-sets. All a Myo-set is your first set, you're gonna go all the way to failure. You wanna pick a weight that you're gonna hit failure within that 12 to 15 rep range, but if you overshoot, undershoot, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever number you hit failure at, you have to do that number for your next 2 sets. Those next 2 sets, you're gonna be fatigued, especially from going to failure on the first set. So you can take breaks, you can take brief pauses to try to hit that number again. So say you do 17 reps and then you hit failure on 17 on your first set. You have to do 17 your next 2 sets, but you're probably not going to be able to get there all in one go. So you can take 1, 2, 3, however many brief breaks that you need to hit that number, but it's an unnegotiable. You have to hit 17 for your next 2 sets. But same thing, same rules apply here as I just talked about for the dumbbell lateral raises. Same. You need your elbow to lead you want your elbow to lead, and you want to pull through your elbow so that way you're actually contracting your shoulder all the way through and taking it through its full range of motion. And you want to set the cable to be at about like shin height, and then you want it to come in front of you. So that way when the cable comes in front of you, you actually allow your shoulder to really get stretched. When in comparison to most lateral raise movements, when you do a lateral raise, your arms kind of get stopped by your body. You can't get that full stretch. Opting for the cable to come across your body really allows you to get a deep stretch on your lateral delt, and then you can even pull these all the way up and out. You can do the absolute full range of motion, and these will really burn. Next up, and finally, we have straight bar pushdowns. Here we have 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps, all Myo-sets. First set, same deal. You're gonna go all the way to failure, whether it be at 12 to 15 or a little bit more or a little bit less, doesn't matter. You want to try to get that spot, but wherever you hit failure at, you have to hit that number again for your next 3 sets this time. You want to set the cable high enough on the cable machine so that way you can have your triceps come all the way up, and that way they go through their full range of motion. Tricep pushdowns, especially straight bar pushdowns, aren't just about pushing as much weight as possible. I always see people in the gym just like jacking the weight around, just trying to move the weight, not controlling the eccentric at all, and they're missing half the lift. They're missing the most important part of the lift, actually. You want to really make sure that you're coming all the way up and really ripping apart your tricep, and then when you push it down, you want to really flex your tricep. Don't just use your whole body and your chest and your shoulders to push the weight down. Use your triceps and flex them as hard as you can. You want to get the most out of this. You want this to be really efficient when you do tricep pushdowns, so don't cheat the reps. I mean, short and sweet, but that's the full workout. Try this out. Let me guys know if you guys enjoy it, and if you do, stay tuned. Make sure you don't miss I'm gonna do the full week. So, and if you're wondering why there's not much, there wasn't much tricep and as much shoulder work, is because there's 2 push days in the week. The next push day is gonna be more of a shoulder and tricep focused push day rather than a chest focused push day. I thought that this would be really good, especially for the new year. A lot of people get really motivated to go into the gym and try to chase some fitness and health goals. So I thought a push-pull legs program is really nice and unique. 6 days into the gym, especially if you're new to the gym, is kind of a lot, but it's gonna be really beneficial for you, especially if you're new, because you have this what's called newbie gains, which you'll learn about as you begin your fitness journey. You'll be able to handle the high volume. So I guess with that being said, Happy New Year, and thank you all for watching. I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.